Good afternoon. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive. Today is Monday, December 18th, and we're very happy that you've tuned into our weekly Westchester update. We've got a long list of things to cover today, but we'll do it quickly because we know you still have Christmas shopping to do. We're going to be touching on the weather issues that we've faced overnight into today across the county. We'll talk about buses. We'll talk about some outstanding police work, and we have some of the representatives of our Westchester County Department of Public Safety here, led by Chief Jim Luciano. We'll talk a little bit about parks, flu shots, historic Hudson Valley, and most importantly, we have our weekly municipal partner joining us, and today that individual is the mayor of the village of Pleasantville, Peter Shearer. We'll go to the mayor first. We always try at each one of these updates to give you a little insight into one of the many communities of Westchester County. There are 45 incorporated governments, and then there are numerous other hamlets, and each one has their own personality. The people who live there love those areas, and they're each unique. And we're very happy to be able to spotlight that for you so that if you live in Pelham or Poundridge or Peekskill, today you learn about Pleasantville. And we have municipalities with other letters of the alphabet as well. Pleasantville is a particularly picturesque community. It's got a wonderful downtown on Wheeler Avenue with restaurants, which is usually my cutting edge, gazebo, and they have a year-round farmers market. At any time of the year, you can stop by there and sort of, both shop for produce and products, but also get a flavor of what Pleasantville is all about. 7,500 people make up the village, and for the last 5 terms, the mayor is Peter Shearer. Peter's also headed up the Westchester Municipal Officials Association, so he's been a leader in local government, not only in Pleasantville, but outside across the county. So we're very happy to have him here to talk about all things Pleasantville. The mayor of Pleasantville, Peter Shearer. Peter, thanks very much.
Thank you, County Executive. So I'm here representing the P's. So, as many of you perhaps know, Pleasantville is pretty much squarely in the middle of Westchester County, a community of a little less than 2 square miles, 7,500 people, as the county executive commented. But we pack an awful lot into it, and our compact arrangement means that we have an extraordinarily accessible community. A lot of people move and rarely use their cars because they can walk to school, they can walk to church, they can walk to the library, they can walk to our Metro North train station and to the stores and restaurants downtown. So we are quite fortunate to have a vibrant downtown. Obviously, we've all been through a bunch of changes as we emerge from the pandemic, but Pleasantville, as George already commented, has turned into a bit of a foodie town. A couple of new openings just in the last few weeks. Welcome to Crawdaddy's New Orleans Kitchen, right on Wheeler Avenue, the latest of our arrivals. But so many good restaurants in Pleasantville. You have plenty to choose from. And plenty of good stores. We've just gotten a couple of new retail stores and are very close to our existing bricks and mortar storefronts being fully filled. So we're pretty happy about that. The dynamics keep changing, when people come, what they want to get, where they want to park, but we're working pretty hard at it. We have lots of good things going on nearby. As you know, our Pace University campus, called the Pleasantville campus, is actually just past our borders, but is a great amenity for our community and a great synergy between Pleasantville and the Pace community. And just a stone's throw beyond that, many of our residents enjoy the Rockefeller State Park. Hard to imagine that so many resources available right in Pleasantville are so close to such a remarkable set of regional amenities. So George already mentioned we have a great farm market that goes on every week. We very often see George appear. It is, I think, been voted Westchester's best farm market for something like 15 years in a row. So pretty hopping place, goes on outside all winter. Please come. It's 9:30 to noon during the winter, 8:30 to 1 in the summer. We're the home of the largest table tennis club in the United States. Will Shorts and his partner Robin Roberts run Westchester Table Tennis Club, a fantastic place to go. And if you are, like I am, a recovering basement ping pong player, you show up and feel very, very inadequate. It's a fantastic place to go and watch great players and also to go and play. So Westchester Table Tennis Center. We're also the home of the Henkel's Cooking School. That's on Marble Avenue. You can learn knife skills, learn about how to cook things. So all kinds of great stuff going on. We've got pretty high profile at this point as an arts community. Obviously, the Jacob Burns Film Center and their Media Arts Lab is central to our downtown 5-screen fine arts film center, and classes and educational programs going on in the Media Arts Lab for people of all ages, adults through little kids, summer camps, etc. We have a regular parade of Hollywood starlets and luminaries showing up for talkbacks at the Burns Film Center. Enormously successful thing going on over there. Just down the other end of the street, which I sometimes call the Avenue of the Arts, is Arc Stages, operating a series of professional productions with equity actors, community stage productions with community actors, educational stage plays with youth actors, just extraordinary stuff. Something going on there at all times, arcstages.org. Take a look and see what you might enjoy there. Right downtown, we have the Gordon Parks Gallery. That's the residence of the entire life's work of the towering documentary photographer, Gordon Parks, who was also the towering black photographer in the 20th century. Series of changing exhibitions go on at the Gordon Parks Gallery, as well as a library and research center. Amazing stuff going on there. That's right at 48 Wheeler Avenue. And then I hope many of you know, hopefully all of you know, about the Pleasantville Music Festival. It takes place second Saturday in July. This week it's on July 13th. Get yourself to pleasantvillemusicfestival.org. You can take advantage of our December ticket fest. So George mentioned you got to get out to do Christmas shopping. You don't have to get out. All you have to do is go to pleasantvillemusicfestival.com, buy your friends some tickets. Now is the time to get them at a steep discount. So pleasantvillemusicfestival.com. And we hope and expect to see as many of you as can possibly attend on July 13 of 2024. Lastly, we've got some great programs going on that are on the boards. I won't bore you with water tanks and sewer lines, but on the more exciting front, a really, really interesting master plan about renovating our 1960s era library, which is a very long-standing intramunicipal agreement between the Village of Pleasantville and the Town of Mount Pleasant. Exciting opportunities, funding awaits, but a really, really great opportunity to envision our library for the 21st century. We're hard at work on changes down in Memorial Plaza. If any of you have been, you will see some different traffic circumstances, different parking. Our long-term plan is to create a civic space in Memorial Plaza that will create a green space at the north end of the plaza. A little piece of that is likely to happen now. The greater part of it will require some long-term planning and funding. And then the last piece is we've been hard at work for what seems like a long time, mostly because it is, about replacing our aging Pleasantville pool. Exciting plan in place. Costs keep rising and rain keeps coming and causing new problems. So our project has now had added to it $1.5 million flood mitigation project. But great stuff is going on in the Village of Pleasantville. It's a fantastic place to live. It's a fantastic place to visit. And I hope you do so. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you, George. And thanks again to you and to your entire administration. What an extraordinary series of shared partnerships we have had. So very much appreciated.
Thank you very much, Peter. Peter Shearer, the mayor of the Village of Pleasantville. We're excited to continue to work with Pleasantville and all the other municipalities in Westchester County because we don't see these levels of government as distinct universes. We all are in the same world together. We represent the same people. Where we can cooperate and have some progress, that's the most important part. So thank you, Peter, for your shared assistance on all of these things as well. And go to Pleasantville. Now, you're stacking them up week after week from one place to the next. So even this time of the year, it's a wonderful time, holiday season. Do get around the county. It's a terrific county. Where you live is terrific, and where everybody else lives is terrific, too. I'm going to be joined by Ken Jenkins, our Deputy County Executive. The next thing we're going to do is give you as quick an update on the weather as we can. Neither of us are meteorologists or weathermen, as you will, but the most recent information that we have is responsive to the kind of weather conditions we've had now overnight. We've seen something north of 3 inches of rain, perhaps 4 inches of rain in various parts of the county. There may be some areas that have experienced more than that. The winds, as we're talking now, in the 2 o'clock hour, have died down from what they were overnight. And I happen to live on the Sound Shore side of the county. Ken is a Yonkers resident, and so depending on where you are, you've seen different experiences of this. As it stands now, the expectation is that rain will end over the course of the next hour, perhaps by the end of this broadcast. The temperatures are going to drop a little bit. They were fairly warm earlier in the day, reached 60 degrees actually, so it was a warm wind that was blowing. We expect them by 5 o'clock to go under 50 degrees, and you'll see that reflected tomorrow. There's still a chance of precipitation overnight, but the gusts probably will be in the vicinity at the maximum of 30 miles an hour. And why that matters is we worry about power lines going down. The higher the wind, along with the rain, the more likely power outages occur. And when they do, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to restore power until the winds stop and the rain stops, and then the various crews can come out and do their thing. We're expecting that tonight will be partly cloudy. Weather temperature get down about 35 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 42 degrees. That's a little bit colder. And the winds will be no higher than 15 miles an hour, which is much more workable situations. In our public situation of transit, the airport has no reported problems. There's a few delays. Check your carrier before you go out there if you are either picking somebody up or leaving yourself. And the Beeline buses have no reported issues at this time, with the obvious exception that where there are flooded roadways, the Beeline buses have to skirt around that. We've also had trees down at many different locations earlier in the day. That is sort of the prime activity of the local DPWs and the county DPWs to go out, and if there is a tree down, get that tree out of the way so they can reestablish flow of traffic. And in parts of the county, you don't have many alternate routes to work with. You'll have one road that goes across from east to west and a much more convoluted set of detours. So take your time, prepare that you're going to run into an obstacle, and as much as we are all anxious New Yorkers ready to get there in record time, give yourself some time, because you may find that a detour is necessary in order for you to navigate where you have to go. Metro North is on or close on the three major lines that serve our county. We want to highlight that the Bronx River Parkway is closed because of flooding. That is a standard reality on the Bronx River, certainly from the county center south to the split with the Sprain in Bronxville. So Bronxville, Tuckahoe, Eastchester, Scarsdale, Greenburgh, up to White Plains. People who use the Bronx River regularly know that it floods and that we close the road down. We will have our police out there to help stranded motorists, but don't test it. If you see a barrier across the road, don't assume that you can make it, because if you can't, you'll ruin your car, and in some cases, you could be in some personal jeopardy. So let's play it safe and follow whatever those instructions are. The remaining parkways, all of which are state-owned parkways, are still open with some closures. The Cross County Parkway is open without closures, so is Playland Parkway and Rye. The Hutchins River Parkway is open, but be careful because you may run across standing water at any point in time. Sawmill River Parkway has been closed at various points throughout the situation. It appears that there is Tuckahoe Road problems on the Sawmill River Parkway, and so people are being diverted off of that. The ramp that gets to 287 is closed, so the Sawmill River Parkway is compromised. As I say every time we have these updates, there's a reason why they call it the Hutchison River Parkway, Sawmill River Parkway, Bronx River Parkway. These are river beds that were the lowest part of the area, the topography. When these roads were built, you couldn't drill through the mountains, so you built them alongside the rivers. And when you get a heavy water incident, then, as they say on your wedding day, the two shall become as one. And so the river and the parkway mesh. So obviously, we all know this. If you've lived here, if you're watching this, you're probably a resident of Westchester County. Use common sense and be prepared to take alternate routes. But the Sawmill is impacted today, and so is the Bronx River Parkway. We understand that lanes were closed on Route 35, and that is a major east-west roadway in the northern part of the county. That this was at Old Cross River Road in Katona. I assume these are trees down. Taconic State Parkway was closed, may still be closed at Stevens Avenue in Mount Pleasant. That's somewhere in the lower part of the Taconic, just in essence, somewhat north of the Kensico Dam Plaza situation. New York Route 100, that's a major road that goes through the whole county. The part of Route 100 that's closed is in the vicinity of Somers, with all lanes closed. And all of those roadways, and there's more, that create some problems as you negotiate. Some of these are going to be repaired during the time of this conversation in the next hour or two. But Route 116, closed in North Salem in the vicinity of Peach Lake Road. That's in the far northeastern corner of the county. Route 134 in Newcastle is closed in both directions. Route 121, also back up in North Salem, is closed in both directions. We have Route 117. That's a major route that takes you from Sleepy Hollow all the way over to the eastern side of the county, closed around Bayberry Close in the town of Newcastle, and a host of other different closures. If you have one of the modern apps that will tell you these things, that will put you ahead of the game, but take your time and be careful. As of the most recent reporting that we've received, Con Edison reported almost 2,900 outages, with the majority in the town of Newcastle and the town of North Castle. That's the middle band across the center of Westchester County. It's considered northern Westchester because it's above 287, but if you look at the full map, it's about midway across that. And so Con Edison reports, again, 2,900 outages. NYSEG, which covers the northern 10 to 15% of Westchester County, has almost 5,000 outages reporting, and the majority of them are in Poundridge and Lewisboro on the eastern side of the county, and those are areas that are heavy forested. Trees come down very easily in this kind of weather condition. They take lines out. They're hard to reestablish. But there are staging areas that have been established at the Tarrytown Marriott on the west side of the county, in Playland on the east side, Sound Shore side of the county, and so the crews have been out there prepared to reestablish power. There is a three-step dance that's involved. The utility company turns the power off. The local DPW goes in and takes care of the obstruction, and then once the obstruction is taken care of and the wires are free, then the utility comes back in, restrings the wires, and reestablishes the power. So it doesn't happen with the snap of the fingers, and unfortunately, we are always tested and stressed by the patience that is required to live through these things. Some of these issues with flooding are very difficult to solve, even with all the money in the world, because we live where we live at the at the bottom part of a river flow. The water will go to the Hudson River, will ultimately go down to the Long Island Sound, and we're the county there. Those that are further inland, get less of it. There are streams and creeks that are rising, and high tide is coming. I believe it's in the 3 o'clock hour. So be aware of your conditions around where you live. And as I said, as relates to the parkways, so it applies in urban settings or suburban settings. Don't drive through standing water. It may be inconvenient for you to not do that, but you don't know how deep the water might be. I saw in the last storm on Central Avenue, you think of Central Avenue and Greenberg and Yonkers being pretty flat. Well, it was up to the waist of the people that would have to wade out of the cars that they tried to take through the standing water and weren't able to do so. So hopefully the news will get better as the day goes along. Check with local media, local radio stations, go online. There'll be updates on weather reports that will tell you more about all of these things, and hopefully we'll get all the power back up. Next up, I'm going to have Ken introduce our Chief, Jim Luciano, from our County Department of Public Service, Public Safety. They have done a magnificent job keeping us safe, and we have a couple of individuals with us today. Chief Luciano is going to report on it. Ken will introduce it, and we're very proud of the hard work that these men and women do every day to keep us safe. And this is one of those many stories, just day-to-day policing, in which they went above and beyond. Ken, would you lead it in?
Thanks, George. Certainly, we want to take this opportunity to talk about two Westchester County public safety officers that are going to be nominated for the Departmental Life Saving Award for pulling a fleeing suspect out of a burning car after he crashed on the Sawmill River Parkway. The driver had fled from an attempted traffic stop at a high rate of speed before losing control on the wet pavement, going off-road and rolling the vehicle onto its side on the northbound Sawmill in Chappaqua. He was flung in the back seat and was initially unconscious when his car burst into flames. So we're going to have police officers Neary and Duffy who had to use a portable fire extinguisher to slow the raging fire, and then broke through the damaged windshield to climb inside the vehicle. And you're watching some of the video from the body-worn camera that shows exactly what's happening. The officers rendered first aid to help the injured man regain consciousness, and then pulled him out of the vehicles as the flames spread into the passenger compartment. After he was rescued from the burning car, The suspect was transported by Chappaqua Volunteer Ambulance Corps to the Westchester Medical Center, and he was also taken to, Officer Neary was also taken to the hospital to be treated for smoke inhalation and cuts to his hands. And again, looking at the video, you can see how intense those things are. And as the county executive was just pointing out, when you drive through standing water, that you're just not putting yourself in jeopardy. You also put in the lives of those public safety officers that have to try to rescue you, and all the rescue emergency services personnel in jeopardy as well. That's why you don't drive through this water. This was part of the work that our public safety officers do every day in trying to keep everyone safe and secure, and they're doing their job at the highest level. So I'm going to ask Chief Jim Luciano to come and join me to introduce our officers and then be able to bring up County Executive Latimer to talk some more about them as well. All right.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, so Officer Duffy, Officer Nerney, you just want to join me at the podium. As Deputy County Executive Jenkins said, and explain the situation on the night of December 1st that began about 9:30 p.m. We're very proud of the actions of our police officers as part of public safety, not only apprehending criminals, but also to render aid to sometimes these fleeing felons and persons that try to abscond from our custody. You know, you kind of got to switch hats. Initially, when they were pursuing this individual for leaving the scene of an accident, and then he failed to yield to our police officers when they tried to stop him up in the Chappaqua area. Subsequently, he got involved in a very serious car accident and became trapped in a car that was on fire. So we're very proud of their decisive and courageous actions, their professionalism, where they transitioned from trying to apprehend a criminal into public safety and the life-saving efforts. And they're to be commended for their efforts. And like the Deputy County Executive said, they will be nominated for our department's life-saving award in May of 2024 when we hold our yearly award ceremonies. So thank you, gentlemen. We greatly appreciate your efforts, professionalism.
Thank
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief. And again, we can't echo enough how the professionalism of the men and women of our public safety department and all our law enforcement around Westchester County takes their jobs extremely seriously. And when they're working, as Chief Luciano just pointed out, going from one end of the spectrum where they're trying to apprehend and talk to someone who was speeding and trying to run away from them, and then switching into that mode, into life-saving mode that helped save that person's life because the car was in fire, in flames, as you can see from the body-worn camera, and those things are in split seconds. You see how long this video is. It was not a long time at all, and because of the heroism of the two officers, Officer Duffy and Officer Nerney, that made a difference every day to the people of Westchester, and thank you for the outstanding job you continue to do. Back to you, George.
Thanks very much, Ken, and thanks again to our brave men who serve us so well every day at the Department of Public Safety. And thank you, Chief Luciano, for bringing it for everybody to see so that people understand just how well these men serve us. A couple of other issues that we want to cover while we have the opportunity of some attention. One of them we've talked about a little bit already, but it's worth mentioning, and we will mention it again next week when we have our update, and that is that the Beeline bus system is fare-free between now and New Year's Day. This started on Saturday, just a couple of days ago, but during the holiday season, if you get on a Beeline bus or a paratransit bus anywhere in Westchester County, it is free. In fact, the Westchester system connects not only to our Metro North commuter rail stations, but it connects to the New York City subway station in a couple of different locations, the 241st Street line in Wakefield, also down 238th and 233rd Street over on the west side with 242nd Street, West 242nd Street. So the Beeline buses will get you to the subway, it will get you to the commuter rail, and it'll get you across the county, north and south. And for many people who rely on that system, to give them a break over the course of these 2 weeks, a little longer than 2 weeks, it's helpful. Financially, it's helpful. We did this during the summertime, July and August, and this is the second year we did this in 2022, and now we're happy to do it again in 2023. If you have nothing to do, you can get on the bus, pack a lunch, take a drive to Peekskill, or take a drive to Pelham, or Pleasantville, or the communities that don't have a P in it. But the upshot being that it's a wonderful system. It's the second largest ridership of any of the bus systems in New York State, with the New York City system being first. And we are only one of two systems outside of New York City, including New York City, that makes it fare-free at any point in time. Ulster County does, we do, and that's it. So in this case, we think we're doing the right thing for the people of Westchester County. We hope you agree, and we hope you make good use of it. So let's go from the police work that we do in the Department of Public Safety, the work that we do in transportation in the Department of Public Works and Transportation. Let's shift over to the Department of Health and make sure that you're healthy by taking your flu shots. Ken?
Thanks, George. And we keep encouraging people to do what both the county executive and myself have done, is to get your flu shot. So we have free flu shots in December. So flu season's underway. The Westchester County Department of Health is going to offer free flu shots by appointment this month to encourage residents to stay healthy. It's upcoming this week on Wednesday, December 20th from 2:30 to 6:30 in the community room at the Yonkers Riverfront Library at 1 Larkin Center, right in front of the Yonkers train station. And appointments there are highly encouraged and can be made at westchestergov.com/health. There will be walk-ins accepted while supplies last, but the best way to make sure that you're fully protected and you're going to be able to get that flu shot at the Riverfront Library is by making an appointment. Flu shots will also be given to residents ages 6 months and older at the health department clinics by appointment only on Thursdays in Yonkers and Fridays in White Plains from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. That's really for those folks from 6 months and older. While supplies last. You can also make that appointment online at westchestergov.com. You can find flu shots anywhere by going to vaccines.gov, and you can put in your area code, your zip code, and be able to find a location. You know, in the United States, there are usually more flu cases between December and February, but you can get the flu, and it can linger right into May. One flu vaccine can provide the protection you need all season long and could prevent illness or reduce the severity if you should have flu and get flu symptoms. So, back to you, George.
Now, before we talk about some of the parks events that are happening around this holiday season, we assume that you're either completing your Christmas shopping or one of you is taking the kids to have a good time while the other one is doing the Christmas shopping. So we want to highlight that historic Hudson Valley brings us a great opportunity for tourism during this time of the year. We know that historic Hudson Valley is comprised of a number of different historical sites. They're generally in the western side of the county, and they include Phillipsburg Manor, which is located in Sleepy Hollow. It includes Van Cortlandt Manor in the town of Cortlandt. Kykuit, which is a Rockefeller estate, not owned, but accessed by that, and that's in the Tarrytown, Sleepy Hollow area. Union Church at Pecanico Hills, also in that general area, and Washington Irving's Cottage Sunnyside, which is right on the Irvington-Tarrytown border overlooking the Hudson River. All of these locations are historic landmarks. They're beautifully decorated year-round, and now in the holiday season, they're particularly beautifully decorated with a Christmas theme, and it's an opportunity to go enjoy the beauty of it. There's always special little events, a little bit of music, a little bit of people dressed in the period pieces, reenactment, and it makes for a great opportunity to enjoy it. We have a video that will give you a little flavor of what you can look forward to if you visit any one of these great sites.
Hi, I'm Waddell Stillman, President of Historic Hudson Valley. We're grateful to County Executive George Latimer and Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins for the opportunity to introduce you to Historic Hudson Valley. We welcome thousands of diverse visitors to our several historic sites along the Hudson River in Westchester County. In addition to help from Arts Westchester to do this, we work closely with the county's Tourism and Film organization led by Natasha Caputo. Natasha helps us reach visitors from the tri-state, all 50 states, and from abroad to come into Westchester, particularly at the most popular seasons when the leaves are turning and Halloween is approaching and Westchester is at its spookiest. We have a Victorian Christmas at Sunnyside, and Jonathan Crook, our wonderful storyteller, is in the Old Dutch Church of Sleepy Hollow telling A Christmas Carol by Dickens. We're proud to preserve some of the most important historical sites in the county and to serve schools and teachers who bring their students to us. Please visit us at hudsonvalley.org to see what's going on, to enjoy some of the history that's available online there, even if a visit is not convenient for you at the moment. We look forward to welcoming you and hope to see you at the historic sites real soon.
We want to thank Waddell Stillman for his leadership as president of Historic Hudson Valley and for all of the wonderful tourism that this organization brings into Westchester County that benefits us in innumerable ways. People who stay overnight here, those who dine in our restaurants, and certainly the people who live here in Westchester County can enjoy it as well. We have a full array of parks activities coming up. Ken, we'll take care of that.
Yes, and we have our continuing Westchester Winter Wonderland Drive through Holiday Light Extravaganza at Kensico Plaza Dam. You can have those memories with your family by taking the 1.2-mile drive through Kensico Dam Plaza to see it dazzle in thousands of lights. And it's open most nights, even tonight, as the rain should be subsided by that time. But again, you're in your vehicle, so that kind of weather usually doesn't stop things. If it was the downpours we were having earlier, that might be different. But where we are right now, that'll be starting tonight at 4 p.m. because it's dark by then, so 4 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And that's going to run right through December 31st. At tomorrow, December 19th, we're going to have an opportunity for those little explorers. So if you're looking for something to do with your child who's 3 to 5 years old, take them to the Muscoot Farm for a fun morning of stories, crafts, and animal and nature activities. That's going to be at the Alfred B. Del Bello, Al Del Bello Muscoot Farm up in Somers. That's 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And certainly you can see all of these at the Westchester, the County Parks website. December 21st, we're going to be back with Holidays on the Hill, the annual train show. That's going to be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Lasden Park and Arboretum up in Katona, where you'll be able to visit and celebrate the season with iconic and immersive exhibits that will delight folks of all ages. Visitors are going to be surrounded by the magic of the season as they stroll through colorful characters and enchanting holiday scenes. You know that that'll go on right through December 31st. But remember, after this week, on the 24th, there is Santa right until the 24th. After that, you just get to see the other exhibits on site because Santa has work to do. And after that, Santa needs to take a break and get some rest. Friday the 22nd from 11 a.m. to 11:45 in the morning, Park and Read at the Lasden Park and Arboretum in Katona. So you'll get seasonal stories that will be able to delight children from 3 to 6 as they discover the joy of reading with our captivating winter read aloud program. It's certainly something we did in the summer with Park and Read, and we thank Rosie Finizio and the team that done a wonderful job with the Parks Department to make sure that the Park and Read program continues on in the winter session. And again, this Friday from 11 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. in Lasden Park and Arboretum back in Katona. So we're turning back over to you, George, for the holidays.
Okay, Ken, thanks very much. Thank you for watching. We want to wish all of our friends who celebrate a very Merry Christmas. It's upcoming a week from today, so there's time to have a festive moment with friends, accomplish all those things you need to do in decorating and being prepared to exchange gifts at the Christmas season. We know that our Jewish friends have completed their celebration of the Hanukkah celebration over this period of time, the Festival of Lights, and we know that as soon as Christmas is over, our African American friends will be celebrating Kwanzaa, which is a multi-day event that deals with African culture, and we will talk about that at our next update, which will be the day after Christmas on the 26th, and there will be some Kwanzaa events and celebrations in some of our major municipalities. And then, of course, we're leading up to New Year's. Next week, we'll give you the rundown of any special New Year's events that are happening around Westchester County. We always keep our fingers crossed for good weather when balls drop or fireworks go off to celebrate the coming of the year 2024. And we're very happy that we've reached the end of the year, so almost, with some good health for all of us. And we look forward to a good holiday season for you, for your family, and your friends as we then move into a new year. We have our work cut out for us, but we continue to do it. Hopefully the flood situations will be manageable today. We'll hope for the best and work for the best, and wish you a very good day. I'm George Latimer. Thanks for watching.